Alright, what is going on, YouTube? Dynamite back today with another interesting video. Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. I'm playing Ratchet and Clank Into the Nexus, as you seen me play on the stream the other day. I did end up beating the game and getting the Rhino 7, but that's besides the point. I wanted to talk about something else today. Something a little different, Let's talk about, some brand new, out of the news things, and I want to start a discussion with people. So, one that was recently brought up to me, which I haven't done any research in, but my friend told me that apparently next year of 2017 is going to be the last console for the last year for this console generation, which is crazy because like it just came out in 2013. It doesn't seem that long ago. It seems like time flies. Literally, it does. And these consoles are ending. But let's talk about the reason to why this happened, okay? So this console generation is going to be fairly much shorter than the last one, only because of the fact that Sony and Microsoft didn't really build their consoles to be that powerful. Now, yes, they were a lot more powerful than their predecessors, and respectively, they were good. Now, the thing is, 4K TVs, which are the new definition that is coming around, 4K TVs are getting cheaper and cheaper by the day. And that's the only thing they're gonna do is they're gonna get cheaper. And, can I not jump onto this? Okay, jump onto this first. But, they're gonna get cheaper. They're gonna get way cheaper. And there's really nothing we can do about it, which is a good thing. It's supposed to get cheaper, right? Anyways, just like 1080p HD TVs about a few years back or whatever. But 4K TVs are going to get cheaper, and today's console generation, the Xbox One and PS4, cannot run 4K at all. Which, might sound a little odd, but that's the truth. They can't even play 1080p games at 60 FPS. What makes you think they're going to be able to play games in 4K at 60 FPS? And that's one of the reasons why I'm currently on the move to PCs, because this year the Pascal and Polaris GPU cards are coming out from AMD and Nvidia, and those cards are actually rumored to be the first single GPU cards that are going to be able to play 4K games, which are going to be and a brand new memory standard, which usually runs VRAM, I believe, or yeah, well, I think they always will run VRAM, but usually most graphics cards will run GDDR5. Now this time around it's a little different because they're running a thing called HBM2, which is the nickname, or the real name is High Bandwidth Memory Stack 2, Generation 2. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Which is this brand new thing that's come out recently. It's basically where a lot of the parts in the system. Well, this is NVLink. I heard that a lot of the parts in the system work together in terms and create way more power. I'm not exactly sure how this technology works all the way, and I'm not an expert by all means in anything. But I think HBM2 is obviously going to be the new standard in technology. And I think that's really cool. And it's gonna be 4K games, but where does gaming go beyond this? Where do we go? Like, what do we create another console that's not up to speed? Just to accommodate for the price range of people, or do we create something else? Now this is a really weird question because right now you can tell the trend that's going on right now is that Microsoft, or something that's going on is Microsoft is steadily, you can tell slowly but surely, Microsoft is steadily more moving their market to PC. Now this is because they already know their console isn't that good. They already know the Xbox One, isn't able to play AAA games at 60 FPS really. They barely got Halo 5 to do it with a bunch of, a bunch of crazy techniques and stuff like that. But they barely even got able to do it. So this begs the question, where is Microsoft going next? And do I think they're going to make another console? Well, if you're going to make a 4K ready gaming console, which the price will probably come down for it, I don't think they should do it, but they probably are going to, because that's just Microsoft. They're probably going to make consoles to try to make money and make something more similar to the 360, but you know, with that 4K power and whatnot. What I think is really going to happen, what I think really should happen, is I think both consoles should be PC. Now, this is why, because the cost of PC is coming down dramatically. You can make a $500 PC the same price as a console. You can make as a PC now, and to have actually more power. You can have a more powerful PC at $500 than you can a console at $450, or you know, just $400. You know, that's not much of a money jump. So what might happen is, if you're going to develop a 4K gaming PC with more advanced technology than the current ones, it's going to cost more. So if you're going to make, you know, if it's going to be $500, $600 for a new console, then why do that? I think what will happen is most people just move to PC anyways, because if there's single 4K cards in the next year, then that's what's gonna happen. You know, more people are just gonna move to PC, and there's nothing they can do about it. What I think should happen is, instead of making new consoles, I think Microsoft and Sony should just move their platforms to PC. Now, what I mean by this is move, like, you know how Ubisoft and Uplay is on PC, and Origin and EA are on PC, and how Steam is on PC and whatnot. I think what should happen is Sony and Microsoft should have their own system like that on PC. Or if you think about it super technical, what could happen is Sony could make an OS, but let's not think about that right now. I think Microsoft and, you know, Sony should just, you know, stay on Windows, but that's besides the point. Anyways, I think that they should make their own programs on PC that you would pay. Like, basically, you would pay more than Xbox Live is right now. Since you're not buying a console anymore, they'd be like, okay, well, if you want these AAA games on PC, you're going to have to pay, like, what, probably $70 a year, or something like that. $60 a year, maybe the same price, I don't know. And they would be like, hey, you can get all your AAA games, your brand new Halos, your brand new, all your other stuff on PC, and that's that. And then basically what would happen is, and then PlayStation do the same thing. They'd be like, you can get your Ratchet and Clank and everything on PC, but you need to pay, like, you know, PlayStation Plus fee, or, you know, whatnot, and to get it on PC, which actually kind of makes sense. Or you have to buy the game. Like, besides buying the service, you have to buy the game too on PC. It makes sense because you want them, you know, exclusive titles. So exclusives could still be a thing if they move to PC, but you just have to pay more for them, and you wouldn't have to buy a console. So in all, like, realisticness, it would be cheaper, but the price would carry out more over time. Instead of buying a $400 console straight up and just buying your games, you have to pay like $100 maybe a year, and then you would have to pay for your games as well. Which I don't know if that'd be worse or better, really, but it would certainly be better for the gaming audience right now, because that means that everyone would be able to play everything. Everyone, just listen to that. Everyone would be able to play with each other on one platform, technically. Now, whether or not what games you're playing, you know, people argue about games, but the console wars would kind of stop, because everyone's would be playing on PC. And who would the real winner be in this? I guess Microsoft, because, you know, that's you know, what would be on Windows. But that's the thing. That's where the Sony OS would come in. Do you think that Sony could possibly make their own operating system out of that, and be like, yo, if you pay for this operating system, we'll move it here? But I think Windows as an operating system and PC as a market in general, Microsoft holds it to a T. Not anything is really able to compete with it. Like, the Steam OS just came around lately, and it's kind of done okay, I guess, but not the best. In terms, like, people still prefer Windows over it, definitely. And that's the thing. I think that's what's going to happen, is if Sony made an OS, then they would just get destroyed by Windows, because Windows is always going to be a superior kind of operating system for basic users. Now, why I say basic users, because a lot of people who do software development and or code development usually use Linux for like server operations and stuff like that, and other stuff, you know. So that's why I say that basic users, usually will take to Windows to run their stuff, and there's better game performance statistically on Windows as it is anyways. So that's why I say that, the Sony OS is possible, it could be a thing, but do I see it happening? Probably not. And the thing is, with Sony developing VR, you heard about this VR thing lately, about Sony VR, and you realize to run VR on a PC, you need a GTX 980 Ti, which you might be like, well, what is that supposed to mean? And just to give you a little bit of perspective to console gamers and or people out there, a GTX 980 Ti to run virtual reality for like Oculus Rift or anything like that is going to cost you $680 for that card. If you're buying like an overclocked, G1 Gaming Gigabyte 980 Ti, which is probably one of the best out there, to be honest. And you're going to run into, that's a huge price. So how is Sony going to make VR work on console, especially the PS4, on a 1080p system? Is it going to be that good? Is it, there's a lot of questions, because it's going to be harder to pull power out of definitely the PS4, and it's definitely going to be even more hard to pull it out of an Xbox One if you're going to try to do anything with that. So that's why I think this console generation will most likely end next year, because there's just not enough power to come out of the consoles to be able to support 4K gaming. And like, I remember when I made a video back in 2013 on what the Xbox One was, what I thought it was going to be, and blah blah blah, and all that other stuff, and the Xbox One didn't turn out to be that good, and I see that now. I see that, hey, it's the Xbox One is really not that good, but that's fine, because I hope they redeem themselves. I'm not really a Microsoft fanboy, because I like both of them. As you can see, I'm playing a PlayStation 3 right now. I like both of them. I'm a gamer. I don't really care in terms of what's going on. But primarily, I kept the Xbox only because of the fact that my friend base was there, and that I already had an account set up and all my gamer score. I didn't want to go back on that and restart. I mean, I have friends on PlayStation as well, but I just see it as I will stay to Xbox, and that's the thing now with PC that I really freaking like is you don't have to pay really for PC as it is right now. With Origin, Steam, you don't have to pay for those at all, period. You just kind of have to, buy your games. And that's one of the best things about PC is, you get your sales going, your Steam sales and whatnot going, and that's what happens. And you get cheaper games. But like I said before, what probably will, I think I'm supposed to go this way. What probably will happen is if the Sony and Xbox market were to come to PC, I wouldn't really have that big of a problem with it, because I'm already a console gamer as it is. I already know about paying online. PC gamers won't be happy though. Current PC gamers won't be happy because they don't pay for online at all right now. So there's no reason. They see there should be no reason to. Which theoretically makes sense, that makes sense. And I kind of feel bad for them if they would have to pay for online for the games, or they just probably wouldn't do it at all. But what I hope for the future is that gaming just doesn't stick to consoles anymore. I hope consoles do die out. That's kind of sad because, I shouldn't want consoles to die out, but I kind of think they should. It'd make the community much better. There would be less stupid arguments, and certainly it would just be an all-around better, it would just be just a better thing, just for everyone to play something on one platform. And think about it, if all games were on a PC, the graphics would be endless. You could up the graphics for literally ever, and there wouldn't have to be no optimization porting. There wouldn't have to be no extra, money involved. And in the long term, you'd probably be saving money as a company if all your games were just made for PC. Now, what that would do for contracts and AAA games, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what would happen if companies would lose money on that or whatnot, but I'm pretty sure the gaming audience would be a lot more happy if that were to happen. And I don't know what's going on right now, but this thing's... Wait, am I just supposed to destroy that? Or... Yeah, I think I'm supposed to. Alright, well, that's been the video, guys, for today. Leave a comment below about what you think about the future of gaming, and, what's going to happen? What do you think? When do you think this console generation is going to end? What are your opinions on it? What do you want to happen? Do you think my idea, of what the future could be like is a good one? Would you be willing to play on a PC? Let me know in the description below.
Wanna go somewhere else.